Multiple buyouts on the reserve list this week. What is going on and why is nobody talking about it? Have you ever had one of those days where you wonder what's going on? Everything seems a little bit off? Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thanks a lot for hanging out with me on my YouTube channel today. This is the day of the week where I count up the reserve list sales. Let you guys know the number 10 card all the way down to number 1. This is sales by volume, not by value. What is going on in the market? Because let's face it, something is happening out there. We know on the Saturday Hot 10, Dominaria United just destroyed everything out there. It dominated every single slot. Thousands and thousands of sales. Wish lists are going off everywhere. People looking for lost legends. But now, here we are on Sunday. That's when this video came out. It's always on a Sunday. And you can see the sales are different this week. Something is a little bit off. There's no dual lands on the list this week. Okay? None. No Thawing Glaciers. Don't have a Lake of the Dead. No Thrall Champion. Soldevi Excavations? Not here. Sorry. Much as I'd love it to be, it's not there. No City of Shadows. Something is happening. No Fork, no Brain Geyser, by the way. But something's happening. Because these cards are selling. They are moving and people are buying them. And the sales are a lot higher than they normally are for this time. So I'm kind of curious to find out what's going on. If you know anything, feel free to email me. Drop me a line. I've been in contact with my stores and I know a lot of unlimited dual lands are moving, as well as a couple of time twisters, Black Lotus or two. Stuff is going on right now that is very interesting to follow right now. I don't see any big movements out there where I can actually track it and pinpoint it. But in the back room, things are starting to get in motion and a lot of individual players now are reaching out and buying some low-end reserve list cards. Because you never know where some of these cards are going to connect later on. We can't all get into a Black Lotus, but you can get into low-end reserve list cards for $1 a piece because they're so cheap right now, and that's what players are getting into. Let's go ahead. Let's count this down from number 10 to number 1. You guys will drop me a comment in the comment section. You tell me what's going on out there. What do you think is happening? Because my tinfoil hat is on way too tight right now. So here we have Lord of Tressorhorn at number 10 from Alliances this week. $12 Canadian for a near mint copy. The average price is $6.97 US, €3.69 to get this card in your house. He's been over 20 bucks before. He is a very inexpensive card to add to your collection of reserve list cards, and he can be used in Commander. He is a splash color. You got one generic, one blue, one black, one red, but of course he is a 10-4. He does regenerate. Yes, there'll be the short-term losses of life, some creatures, and an opponent's going to draw some cards, but you get to pick that opponent, which is awesome. He is very hard to kill. You got to use an exile. I love it. Very underutilized. I have seen him the odd time in a commander deck. Not as the actual commander, but as a creature card. And he can really mess with people if you can give him trample and stuff. Keep this kind of guy in mind. I mean, spend the $5. Pick him up. Guys, any cards, by the way, that you're buying on TCG Player, please don't forget to use my affiliate link found in the description of all of my videos. Just click the TCG affiliate link. Takes you right to TCG, and anything you buy will be helping out the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you. Now, the number 9 card is Zubri the Golden Feather. 46 sales this week. And guys, this card is up to 20 bucks Canadian near mint. The average price is $12.98 US, €3.68 to get this card to your house. And it's at a new all-time high. Okay? This is the highest it's ever been, and that is because Xerium of, Dominaria United, the new Griffin they gave us, has caused Zubri to go way, way shooting up with people hoping to make some kind of cool Griffin tribal deck and have some fun with. And guess what? The artwork's great. Zubri himself is not a horrible card. Kind of high casting cost, but we don't know what Griffins will come out in the years to come. And playing that kind of interconnection game and speculating on which cards may find uses in future decks, when they're this cheap, you can afford to kind of spray some money around and pick a whole bunch of targets, get a playset here, get a playset there. Before Zubri spiked, it was a $3 card. So it was available for anyone who wanted to buy a copy. So I don't want to hear anybody griping saying they can't afford it. It was $3. Pay attention, you can buy these cards. Now the number 8 card. Okay, Griffin Canyon, same thing. Xerium came out, people are trying to build Griffin decks. Griffin Cane's a little different from what we see from nowadays. 55 sales is very respectable. It doesn't come into play tap, which I really like. Okay, I like being able to use mana right away, and it can untap a Griffin and give that Griffin +1/+1, which could be a life-saving effect or a good offensive tool depending on what you want to do. I like this card, okay? I always have. And the fact that this one has kind of dipped down before, it's only $21 Canadian near mint. You can see the average price is $15.99. The market price is $15.12. €10. Guys, it's nothing to get this card into your house. And it's starting to spike up again. It's halfway to almost at its new high point, which would be cool. People could keep buying it, cause this price to go up to like, $30. I don't know. It could go there though. You never know with the reserve list cards, what I'm trying to tell you guys. Now, the next card is a card I do purchase, and that is the Balduvian Trading Post from Alliances. Number 7 this week with 64 sales. $5.50 Canadian to buy this card. Average price is $4.72 US. €4.07 to get this card into your house. This card's been trending down for a very long time. I buy like 4 copies a month. I tuck them away. It's a great card. I have used it in Commander. It's in my Throw Bowl deck because of its ability to do 1 damage to any attacking creature. Means everyone's got to think before they attack each other with low-level stuff, because I do ping it off. Ping here, ping there. Make some friends, make some enemies. It's a great time, man. I feel like I'm in Beetlejuice right now. Party and friends. Now, the number 6 card. That is Willow Priestess from Homelands. As soon as we were announced going back to Eldraine, I put the Willow Priestess up and the Fairy Noble to let you guys know these are cards that will be targeted. And some of you guys took advantage of that and got these cards really cheap because she was as high as like $25, I think, before she fell in price down to like the $4 or $5 range. And that's where a lot of people started buying her up again. That's why I mentioned it. Now she's $11 Canadian near mint. You can see the average, though, is $7.15 US. And it's €5.05 to get that card into your house. Willow Priestess is a little more unique. These powers don't come around. The abilities don't get used anymore. The fact she can just take a fairy and put it directly into play, even if it was a 10 casting cost fairy. Oh, pop it on the battlefield for you. Enjoy. Very cool effect. But also, target green creature gains protection from black until end of turn. That is very nice. And it's not a tapping ability. So she can protect multiple green creatures. This can even work in elf decks. Think about that. You can have so much fun because it just says target green creature. It didn't say target green fairy, right? So very interesting that people kind of forget that sometimes, that thing can protect, it can give other creatures protection. Such a cool ability. 67 sales too. This is like phenomenal. Now the number 5 card is Fairy Noble. 79 sales. Again, a fascinating little guy here. When you take a closer look at him and you see that all fairies get +0/+1, pumps up every fairy, gives them a little tougher, okay? All fairies under your control. That means, I guess, even himself, because I'm sure he's errated by now to say he's a fairy. So he probably is a 1/3 fairy for 3. He also can tap, and all fairies you control get +1/+0, but it doesn't say that he has to remain tapped, does it? Interesting. Can you find a way to untap him multiple times? Can we make that happen? I don't know. I'm just saying he's a very cool guy. He kind of reminds me of that movie Labyrinth. He's got the eye patch and stuff on. You know what I'm talking about. Now, number 4, we have Snowblind. And I was blindsided by this one. So Snowblind at 103 sales. Average price now is $4 Canadian for a near mint copy. Market price, though, is $1.85. You can still find it pretty cheap on TCG Player. But remember, these kind of buyouts, they're just out of the blue. Here we go. I like this card, like the artwork, whatever. Let's buy it. And they buy it. Snowblind is an enchant creature. It's 1 green, 3 other. It says target creature gets -X/-X. Okay, and that's where how many snow-covered lands you have is the minus it's going to get. Very fascinating card to think about, okay? Guys, cards like this, you have to remember it's a niche card. The artwork's great, but you don't know if it's going to go up, down, or sideways. It could go right back down a year from now, and we'll still find it sitting at $1. I don't know, but somebody liked it and decided to buy it. The next card, though, the Anazaran Runes from Homelands, is a little bit different. 103 sales this week. $7 Canadian near mint. The average price is $4.89 US. The market price and the average price are pretty close. And then we've got €2.74 to get this card to your house. It's just starting to spike up now. It reached $15. Okay, $15 US, about $20 Canadian. Guys, this card, I saw somebody use it It was a whole thing with goblins. The guy's goblins wiped out one of the opponents in the game of Commander. Then the next player takes their turn after the goblins have wiped this guy out, and he plays the Anazera Ruins and chooses the creature type, and then they don't get to untap. So all the goblins stayed pinned down, and then he killed them in 2 turns. It was crazy. Guys, this card should be $20. It should be a higher price card, and it's not. The fact you can still find, moderately played copies for a couple of bucks on TCG Player tells me, wow. I mean, it's Homelands. I get it. Massive print run, but there's still only so many that exist still. How many people threw their Homelands out? How many people trashed their stuff? Now, the number 2 card. This is General Jarkeld. 117 sales this week. I've mentioned this card because he counts as a soldier. We've been talking about that. He can switch blocking creatures. But he also, with all these new soldier guys we saw come out in Dominaria United, soldiers had massive sales. Things went nuts. He is 4 to cast, though. Thank goodness it's only 1 white and 3 other. Not impossible. He himself is fairly weak. He's only a 1/2. But the ability to switch those blockers can be a lot of fun for people. And he's super cheap, let's face it. He's had no spike, no changes in price, even though hundreds of copies sold last week and hundreds of copies sold this week. Think about that, guys. Nutty stuff. Now, you've waited long enough. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the number 1 selling card. Now, remember, most of these cards now, anything over 50 is definitely a buyout. Look at all the cards that have been being bought out right now. This is nuts. And that is the Martyrs of Corollas, because, of course, Brothers War is coming, and now we want to buy out the Martyrs of Corollas. $18 Canadian near mint for a copy. Average price is $35 US. The market price is $15.22, so I guess the Canadian price is pretty good. I think that's 401 games I saw it. And €8.91 to get this card to your house. It's, again, almost at a new all-time high. And when we take a look at the Martyrs of Corollas, you realize it is kind of a, it reminds me of the Veteran Bodyguard, obviously. It's a 1/6, redirects damage from artifacts onto yourself, which means anyone building an artifact deck, if you can splash in some white into your commander deck, this guy could be saving your life. That's kind of cool, right? Saving your life. Guys, I'm not surprised by buyouts like that. Those buyouts don't surprise me when it comes to the Martyrs, because Brothers Wars already had Haunting Winds, Argivian Archaeologist, Mightstone, Weakstone, all kinds of stuff's been bought out ever since they announced the Brothers War. We've had those buyouts coming. Speculators taking advantage, saying, hey, they're super cheap, I might as well grab some. And they will be trying to unload some copies and keep some value as well by keeping near mint copies for later. You never know what cards are going to do in Magic the Gathering. Most of the cards are worthless, as they say, but you don't know which ones are going to go up and interconnect with other cards. And let's face it, they're not coming back around. It's just the way it is. And people always forget it. Our minds are short, and we forget what's going on. We don't look at these cards, and the next thing you know, we're like, why didn't I buy this card? Why didn't I grab it? Because you were busy elsewhere. It happens. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in today. Have an awesome day in the world of Magic. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you guys soon. And of course, a big shout out to all the fantastic patrons on the channel. Thanks again for that continued support. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the live stream Sunday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day, everyone. If I was going to buy a Power 9 card, what card do you think I would buy?